The chapel air was heavy, but not with grief. It was heavy with whispers, side eyes, the stench of judgment disguised as sympathy. My boy Tommy lay in the casket before me, 7 years old, skin pale, lips pressed thin by the undertaker's cold hand. And then she said it, my wife, my partner of 12 years, the woman I once thought was my compass. She leaned toward her sister, loud enough for the pews to hear. Maybe this is God's way of ending bad bloodlines. The words carved into me sharper than any knife. Relatives nodded. My mother-in-law added her poison. Some kids are better off not growing up. I didn't move, didn't blink. Only my hand tightened around the program until it bent and creased. Then came the spark. My daughter, 10, trembling but fierce, stood up in her little black dress. She looked at the crowd, then at me, and her voice sliced through the murmurs. Should I tell everyone what Mother did to Tommy before he died? The room froze. And in that silence, I knew my revenge had reached the perfect crescendo. Before the ruin, I met her in college. She was radiant, clever, and I mistook ambition for love. She studied psychology. I studied law. I thought we'd build each other. She laughed easily then, touched my arm like I was her anchor. We married young, 2 kids, a house with creaking floors and bright windows. For a while, it was peace. But peace doesn't last when someone feeds on control. The first fracture came quietly, the dismissive tone, the constant correction, the way she spoke for me in rooms I should have commanded. Small, harmless, until it wasn't. The unmasking. Tommy was fragile, asthma, hospital visits, inhalers lined up like soldiers on the kitchen counter. And yet, I started noticing. His medicine went missing. The boy grew weaker. My wife shrugged. He's dramatic. You know how he is. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But truth doesn't hide forever. One night I found a pill bottle flushed empty, weeks before it should have been. Another hidden in her drawer. Then the message. Her phone lit up while she showered. A text to her sister. If he doesn't make it, at least I'll be free. I stared at the screen, my blood cold, my breath calm. Not rage, no. Rage is sloppy. This demanded something colder. That night I tucked Tommy in, kissed his forehead, and promised him, though he couldn't hear, that justice would be quiet, deliberate, and merciless. The plan. I documented everything. The pill counts, the dates, the bruises explained away as clumsy falls. Photos stored in a hidden drive, medical records copied, every lie cataloged, every neglect written down. I wired the house, cheap cameras tucked into vents, smoke detectors, light fixtures. And my daughter, my brave girl, I taught her how to speak the truth without fear. She became my secret witness, her small hands pointing at shadows I'd overlooked. I didn't confront my wife. Confrontation is a warning. I let her believe I was weak, distracted by grief, drowning in work, all while I was building a case that could crush her. The execution. The day Tommy collapsed, she called it an attack. But I'd already seen the footage. Her slipping pills down the drain, rationing his inhaler, whispering venom to her when she thought no one listened. He died before I could save him, and for that, I will never forgive myself. But his death armed me with what I needed. I went to the police with evidence. They called it circumstantial. I expected that. Authorities are slow, cautious, easily manipulated by crocodile tears. So I adjusted. If the law moved like molasses, I'd move like fire. I leaked messages anonymously to her colleagues, her church friends, her family. Whispers turned into suspicion. Suspicion turned into distance. Her sister stopped answering calls. Her boss restructured her position. Friends ghosted her. And then came today, the funeral. My stage, my spotlight. The climax. When my daughter spoke, eyes turned, gasps rippled like a wave. "What do you mean?" someone asked. My girl's voice didn't shake. Mother made Tommy sick. She said he was holding her back. She poured out his medicine. Faces twisted, whispers rose. My wife's mask cracked for the first time in years, eyes darting, lips trembling. She stammered, "She doesn't know what she's saying." I stood then, slow, controlled, my voice steady, slicing through the room. She knows, and I have proof. I pulled the folder from beneath my chair, thick with months of evidence. I handed it to the pastor, then the detective I'd invited quietly to attend. His badge flashed, subtle but unmistakable. My wife's face drained of color. My mother-in-law's mouth opened, then shut. The relatives who nodded minutes ago recoiled as if she were diseased. In that chapel, surrounded by roses and whispers, she was already buried. The aftermath. They took her away that night, not in handcuffs, not yet, but in suspicion, in shame, in exile. Enough for the walls to